You've discovered MyStar Radio, a riveting podcast where secrets long forgotten are unearthed and brought to light. Be sure to subscribe, share and comment, engaging with the truths that lie within. And now, to your host, Hz Quantumist.
Subscribe now.
Welcome to MyStar Wisdom, ancient galactic insights for modern earthly souls. This podcast titled, Mirror, Mirror, the First Love Reflection. Thank you for joining us. I am Hz, your quantumist, guiding you through this sanctuary of enlightenment. In this episode, we explore one of the most significant topics we've ever discussed: love. Mirror, mirror, the first love reflection is a nod to the classic fairy tale phrase, mirror, mirror on the wall. In this context, it reminds us that we are the fairest of all when we embrace self-love. Adopting this mindset is key to understanding the concepts we're about to discuss. As we uncover the essence of love, from the divine to the personal, we'll discover how self-love serves as the foundation upon which all other expressions of love are built. Stay with us as we reflect on the deeper meaning behind loving ourselves and others and connecting with the divine source of love. If you've been with us from the start, you know this podcast is more than a collection of individual discussions. Each episode is intricately connected, creating a cohesive exploration of ideas and philosophies. If you haven't yet had the chance, start with the first episode, which explains what these podcasts are all about, and then progress through each one as every conversation builds upon the last. We will now focus on love. Love, in its purest form, is far more than a mere emotion. It is the very essence of life itself. Without love, we are left adrift in darkness, disconnected from the light that guides and sustains us. We've all heard the timeless phrases, God is love, or the divine is love, but have we truly grasped the depth of their meaning? Central to our discussion is the concept of self-love, the foundation upon which all other expressions of love are built. Understanding love, the significance of self-love. It's instinctive to declare our love for others. We profess love for our parents, spouses, relatives, lovers, friends, and of course our children. Many of us would even sacrifice our lives to protect those we cherish, a reflection of the depth and nobility of our love. Yet, beneath these declarations lies a central truth that often goes unexamined. In our eagerness to love others, how often do we neglect to love ourselves? This brings us to a fundamental question. Can we fully offer genuine love to others if we haven't first embraced love for ourselves? While we can certainly give profound love to others, our capacity to give authentic, unwavering love is fundamentally compromised without first experiencing love within ourselves. The truest understanding of love emerges when we experience it within ourselves, through self-love. It's through this internal experience that we truly grasp the full depth and authenticity of love. This is where the relationship between me, myself, and I comes into play. It's essential to cultivate a harmonious relationship within ourselves, one where self-respect, self-care, and self-awareness are at the forefront. When me, myself, and I are aligned, we create a solid foundation for all other relationships. We've all heard the pre-flight advice given to travelers: secure your own oxygen mask before assisting others. While this instruction may seem trivial, it is actually grounded in both science and practical experience. The reasoning is simple. You cannot help others effectively if you are not in a stable condition yourself. This principle applies to love as well. If we do not first ensure our own well-being by cultivating a deep, authentic love for ourselves, our ability to help and love others effectively is diminished. Our love becomes incomplete, lacking the depth and richness that comes from a healthy sense of self-worth and a true connection to the divine. This realization leads us to a deeper understanding. The pure, unconditional love that we strive to cultivate within ourselves often has its roots in something greater, something divine. Later in our discussion, we will explore the concept that God is love and how this divine love is not just a distant or abstract idea, but a constant, unwavering truth that resides within us. By embracing this divine love that flows through us, we strengthen our ability to love ourselves. This self-love then becomes the foundation upon which we can build true, authentic love for others. Understanding and experiencing divine love within ourselves empowers us to offer love that is pure, unwavering, and reflective of the divine source from which it originates. This isn't a selfish act. It's an essential one. Just as we must secure our own oxygen mask to breathe life into those we care about, we must first secure self-love to breathe true love into our other relationships. In other words, if you don't love you, then you can't truly love me. Quantum insights. The love frequency, 528 Hz. If you've been following our journey, you might remember our previous episode titled, "What is Your Frequency?" In that discussion, we probed into the concept of frequencies, including the powerful 528 Hz frequency, also known as the love frequency. If you haven't yet listened to that episode, I encourage you to do so for a deeper understanding of how frequencies affect our existence. Let's briefly revisit this concept. The 528 Hz frequency, which is a part of the ancient Solfeggio scale, has been shown to promote healing, reduce stress, and bring about positive transformations in human consciousness. It's fascinating how quantum physics shows us that everything in the universe vibrates at certain frequencies, including our emotions and thoughts. The love frequency is a perfect example of how love, as a vibration, has measurable positive impacts on our biology and consciousness, reinforcing the profound power that love has in shaping our reality. The science of love and its effects. The profound effects of love extend well beyond emotional experience, deeply influencing our physiological and neurological states. Research into the brain's response to love has revealed that when we encounter love, whether romantic or platonic, specific areas of the brain are activated. These regions are responsible for emotion, motivation, and reward. When we fall in love, the brain releases a complex cocktail of neurotransmitters and hormones like dopamine, oxytocin, and vasopressin, which play crucial roles in how we experience love. Dopamine, often dubbed the feel-good hormone, enhances pleasure and helps form romantic attachments by activating the brain's reward pathways. This not only heightens our feelings of happiness, but also solidifies the connections we feel toward our loved ones. Oxytocin, known as the cuddle hormone, is pivotal during intimate moments, from hugging a friend to the intimacy between partners, reinforcing trust and bonding. Its release during these moments deepens our feelings of attachment and strengthens relationships over time. Vasopressin complements oxytocin in long-term commitments, supporting sustained companionate love and attachment behaviors. On a physiological level, love's impact is equally significant. Studies have shown that being in a loving relationship can lead to lower blood pressure, reduced stress, and an overall increase in physical health. The support and emotional connection provided by a loving relationship contribute to significant stress relief and improved health outcomes. Moreover, love not only affects humans, but crosses species barriers, Animals show increased health and longevity when cared for with affection, and even plants thrive when tended with love, suggesting a universal biological response to care and attention. Understanding these mechanisms not only deepens our appreciation for the complexity and power of love, but also underscores its essential role in our health and well-being, echoing through every aspect of life. Physical intimacy and the transfer of energy. It's important to understand that physical closeness between people, especially during moments of intimacy, can be much more than just a physical act. When we share these moments with someone, we also share our energy, and that energy can have lasting effects. Just like when you spend time with a good friend and feel happier afterward, intimacy can transfer positive energy between partners. However, when there isn't a foundation of love, respect, or care between people, the energy shared might not be positive. Instead, it can lead to negative feelings or energy that stays with you longer than you might want. This is why it's so important to be thoughtful about whom we choose to be close with, making sure they share similar values, care, and respect. We are all like transmitters and receivers of energy, so being conscious of who we share our energy with helps us stay in a good, positive place. When we're with someone who shares our values, similar vibrations, and mutual respect, intimacy can be a beautiful and healing experience. But if those things are missing, it might leave us feeling down or disconnected. That's why it's best to be careful and choose to share intimacy with someone who is on the same positive and loving wavelength as you. Realizing and accepting divine love, moving beyond codependency. When discussing the nature of divine love and our relationship to it, it's crucial to recognize that being created by and loved by the divine should instill a deep, unwavering sense of acceptance within us. Yet often, people find themselves caught in a cycle of doubt, repeatedly seeking affirmation of this love as if it might have waned or changed. This behavior mirrors the insecurities seen in human relationships, where individuals frequently seek the reassurance of love from those around them, be it a parent, partner, or friend. However, this constant verification can foster a form of spiritual codependency that undermines the very confidence and security that divine love is meant to instill. Imagine a child constantly asking their parent, "Do you love me?" or "Do you love me now?" It's natural for a child to want comfort and assurance, but eventually they need to trust that their parents' love is stable and always there. In the same way, adults can also fall into the habit of needing constant reassurance. Instead of just sharing love, they might start depending on hearing, "I love you," or asking others to prove their love. This can sometimes lead to unhealthy situations where someone might say, "If you love me, you would do this," or "Show me how much you love me by doing that." Now imagine a person who constantly asks the divine, "Do you love me?" or "Do you love me now?" Much like the child who seeks reassurance from their parent, this person may not yet fully trust in the eternal, unwavering nature of divine love. While it's okay to express and show love, we need to be careful not to rely on this too much. When we depend too much on hearing or seeking proof of love, it can create insecurity and lead to codependency. It becomes a way of constantly needing others to validate our worth, much like how some people might always seek reassurance of divine love. But divine love, which is given to all, is eternal and should not need to be questioned. This brings us to a key realization. A person who truly loves themselves does not rely on the love of others to feel complete. The love we receive from others becomes a bonus, a beautiful addition to our lives, but not a necessity for our sense of worth. When we cultivate deep self-love, we become emotionally self-reliant. able to appreciate and enjoy the love from others without depending on it for our happiness or validation. In this way, self-love is the foundation of emotional independence and true inner peace. Similarly, when it comes to our relationship with the divine, repeatedly seeking God's love or questioning it daily is contradictory to the very essence of faith. If we believe in a loving, unchanging divine presence, then once we know we are loved by God, we should trust that this love is constant and unwavering. Continually seeking reassurance of God's love can reflect a lack of trust in the divine promise. After all, if the divine says it is so, then it is so. Divine love is eternal, just as with self-love. Once we embrace this divine love, we should rest in the certainty of it, knowing it is always there, regardless of our circumstances or feelings. To grow spiritually and emotionally, we must transition from incessantly questioning our worth and the divine's love to accepting it as a constant truth. This acceptance allows us to move forward with confidence, not just in our spiritual walk, but in all facets of life. It helps develop a foundational self-esteem that doesn't waver with the ebbs and flows of life's circumstances or our own fluctuating feelings. The global struggle for self-love. In previous podcasts, we've discussed the differences between benevolent and malevolent forces, particularly in terms of positive and negative polarity, and the various levels of unseen good and bad forces that influence our world. So we won't dwell on that subject in this episode. However, as we go deeper into the concept of self-love, it's essential to acknowledge a troubling trend in the world currently. There seems to be a global, concerted effort to undermine our natural capacity for self-love. Negative aligned forces, whether manifesting through societal pressures, cultural narratives, or subtle media messaging, seek to diminish the power of self-love and love for each other by sowing seeds of doubt, fear, and shame within us. This issue goes beyond individual struggles. It's part of a broader, more insidious agenda that seeks to weaken the very fabric of humanity by attacking our innate ability to love ourselves. It's almost as if humanity is being challenged to turn on itself, to question, dislike, or even reject their own identities, to doubt their inherent worth, and to view others through a lens of division rather than unity. This is not just about creating self-doubt. It's about disrupting the natural light of humanity. When we do not fully love and accept ourselves, we cannot offer pure and complete love to others. This lack of self-love leads to a breakdown in our ability to connect authentically with others, furthering the division and weakening our collective strength. When individuals are taught to hate aspects of themselves, whether subtly or overtly, the consequences are profound. Self-hate leads to a cascade of negative emotions, fear, anxiety, shame, that lower our emotional and spiritual vibrations. As we discussed in previous episodes, these low vibrational frequencies not only affect the individual, but also resonate through the collective consciousness, contributing to a pervasive atmosphere of negativity and division. This is not a coincidence. Forces deliberately push to dim the light of love in the world, whether we are aware of their impact or not. Think of love as a powerful light, a force that has the ability to uplift, heal, and connect us all. When this light is dimmed, when people are disconnected from self-love, the entire world feels the effects. The collective energy becomes darker, more fearful, and less connected to the higher vibrations that love provides. We must recognize this for what it is. An agenda that seeks to weaken humanity by undermining our most powerful tool, love. The antidote to this agenda is simple yet profound. We must reclaim our capacity for self-love. We resist the forces that seek to diminish us by honoring and loving ourselves. When we fully embrace who we are, our identities, bodies, minds, and spirits, we strengthen ourselves and the collective human spirit. Loving ourselves in this context is not just a personal act. It is an act of resistance against the negativity that seeks to overshadow our world. It is a way of standing firm in the light, refusing to let external forces dim it. By cultivating self-love, we contribute to a greater collective effort to raise humanity's vibration and spread love and light in a world that desperately needs it. In this way, self-love becomes more than just a personal practice. It is a vital part of the global struggle to maintain and expand the power of love in the face of adversity. Through this lens, we must approach our understanding of love, recognizing that by loving ourselves, we contribute to a brighter, more loving world for everyone. Love should be easy. I once had a relationship with a woman who expressed that unless I showed signs of jealousy or anger, she wouldn't believe that I cared about her. I even overheard her telling her mother, "He won't even slam a door." She would tell me about other men she was friendly with and say things to create conflict. It seemed she needed to disrupt the peace to feel secure in the relationship, almost like she thrived on the drama of breaking up just to make up again. It was as if peace was uncomfortable, and only through conflict could she feel the relationship was progressing. This experience led me to question, why would someone need turmoil or conflict to feel loved? It's a sign of deeper issues, perhaps insecurity, low self-esteem, or even a learned behavior from past experiences. Some people might create conflict as a way to test their partner's commitment or to feel more secure in their worth. But let's be clear. This is toxic. In any relationship, whether with family, friends, or partners, we should align ourselves with those who bring out the best in us, not the worst. In healthy relationships, love should feel easy. It should inspire us to be more, to love more, to create more. If you find yourself in a relationship where you're constantly arguing, second-guessing yourself, or being triggered into negative emotions, it's a sign that something isn't right. A healthy relationship should lift you up, not drag you down or hold you back. Relationships that require turmoil and conflict are unhealthy, and they often indicate a deeper issue that needs to be addressed. The ripple effects of self-love. When we cultivate self-love, it transforms how we interact with others. Self-love teaches us to set healthy boundaries, communicate our needs clearly, and engage in relationships with mutual respect and understanding. Consider a common scenario. Someone struggling with self-esteem often finds themselves in relationships where their needs are overlooked. By learning to value oneself, this individual can start to attract and choose partners who respect and mirror this newfound self-respect. This shift not only improves romantic relationships, but also enhances friendships and family dynamics, promoting healthier interactions across all areas of life. Self-love does more than improve individual lives. It elevates the collective vibrational energy of our communities and the world. When individuals operate from a place of self-respect and personal harmony, they emit positivity, which resonates throughout their interactions and contributes to a more compassionate society. Imagine a community where each member acknowledges their worth and extends that respect to others. Such a community is more likely to work together harmoniously and address social challenges effectively. Unrequited love and self-love. Unrequited love, where your affection isn't returned, can be a challenging experience. It's a situation where you might find yourself reaching out emotionally to someone who doesn't reciprocate your feelings. This can lead to feelings of loneliness and rejection. Unrequited love, often manifests through a lack of reciprocity. You may be the one always initiating contact, whether it's texting, calling, or making plans. The emotional toll of this one-sided affection can lead to feelings of sadness and rejection as the lack of mutual interest becomes increasingly apparent. For those who don't usually fall in love easily, unrequited love can be especially tough. Sometimes we misread interactions, or perhaps we get so caught up in our feelings that we miss the signs that the other person isn't on the same page. Or worse, they might be unsure themselves, caught in their own conflicts, or simply enjoying the attention without any intent of diving deeper. If you find yourself in this situation, it's important to acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to admit that you're hurt. It's perfectly normal. If you're unsure about where you stand, consider having an honest conversation with the person involved. Clarity can be a relief, even if it's not the answer you were hoping for. The key to moving past unrequited love lies in focusing on yourself. Engage in self-care, pursue hobbies that bring you joy, and spend time with people who uplift you. Loving yourself is the foundation that allows you to move past unrequited love and open up to new, more fulfilling relationships. If the love isn't returned, it's a sign to let go, release that attachment, and send them off with goodwill. Because in the end, the right love will come along, one that mirrors your own affection and dedication. And always remember, if you've loved them once and it wasn't right, keep that love for yourself and keep your heart open. Love, the kind that truly matters, is a two-way street. Speaking of love in more general terms, especially when it comes to self-love and expressing love to others, I've noticed something both fascinating and concerning: the reaction some people have to the words, "I love you." It's sometimes amusing to watch when I say, "I love you" to certain people. Friends, acquaintances, or even strangers. Many people genuinely don't know how to react when they are given or receive love. Some people become very uncomfortable when you tell them you love them. They think, "What did he just say to me?" Or, "How do I respond to that?" It's as if people believe that if you offer love freely, there must be some kind of catch. What's that going to cost me? They worry that if they say, "I love you" back, it somehow solidifies an intimate connection or even leads to a breach of trust with their significant other, rather than just being a simple, natural expression of affection. Love is love. Saying, "I love you" only means I see your worth. You're important to me and to the world, regardless of who else you love or who else loves you. Why should love, in its most authentic form, be restricted and limited only to those we are intimately involved with? Love is a gift meant to be shared universally and freely. Personally, I love everyone, even if I don't necessarily like them. That's kind of a joke, but it is true. Even if I don't align with a person, even if I disagree with their views, even if a person is not someone I typically enjoy, it is true that I still love all people just as I love myself, because we are all part of the same picture. And when I tell you or anyone else I love you, there's no hidden agenda of romantic intent or a prelude to deeper commitments. It is a pure acknowledgement of others' inherent worth and a celebration of their presence in our interconnected world. Many people react as if such an expression must carry deeper implications, or as if it breaches some unspoken social contract. This response unveils a deeper issue, a hesitance to accept that love can be a normal, everyday expression shared freely, not just reserved for those closest to us. This fear often leads to misunderstandings. Remember from our episode, fear is the favorite tool used. Fear is the wolf in sheep's clothing, often hiding beneath other emotions. If you feel uneasy when someone says, "I love you," or find it hard to express those words freely to others outside your usual circle, the first step is to recognize that there may be discomfort. Once you acknowledge this feeling, you can then make a conscious effort to identify it and see the wolf beneath the surface. Some might worry that receiving love from someone outside their immediate circle could be seen as a breach of trust in their relationships. But if you truly love yourself first, you understand your own boundaries and shouldn't fear others expressing their love toward you. If a relationship is so rooted in fear that hearing "I love you" from someone else or freely saying "I love you" to others outside the usual circle of those intimately connected causes anxiety, it may be worth examining why that fear exists. Giving and receiving love should be natural and free from doubt or insecurity. Here's the point. Love is universal. Love is free. Love is healing to the ones who give it, as well as the ones who receive it. Love belongs to all of us, not just to a limited few. We should never isolate or limit our expression of love to only those with whom we are intimate or committed. It's a sign of insecurity to believe that expressing love to a friend, a stranger, or someone of the opposite gender implies a breach of trust. Breaking free from these chains opens us to the true essence of love. Unconditional and boundless, love should flow like water, like sunlight, touching everyone without hesitation, never confined, restricted, boxed, or buried. Let's embrace this freedom, spreading love without reservation, and teach others to do the same. In doing so, we affirm that love is indeed the most natural and uplifting force we have. Remember, love is what makes the world go around, and it's meant to be shared with everyone, not just a select few. When we first love ourselves, the words "I love" unlock the true power of love, elevating our world and lighting the way for others, encouraging them to do the same. Practical aspects of self-love. Developing self-love is a dynamic and practical process that involves daily exercises and mindset shifts. 1. Prayer and gratitude. Start by giving thanks, making requests, or offering blessings for yourself and others. This practice centers your intentions and aligns your spirit with love. 2. Mindfulness and meditation. Regular mindfulness practices can enhance self-awareness and promote a state of acceptance and peace within oneself. Meditation, focused on love and compassion, can increase feelings of self-worth and empathy towards others. 3. Physical and verbal affirmations of love. We've all heard that it's recommended to have 11 hugs a day to maintain emotional well-being. Hugs are more than just a physical embrace. They're a powerful way to express love, foster connection, and nurture our relationships. Each hug strengthens our bonds and serves as a reminder that we are loved and valued. Similarly, saying "I love you" more often can have a powerful impact. Say the words "I love you" to yourself, and practice saying "I love." In general terms, these simple words create moments of connection and reaffirm our commitment to one another. 4. Affirmations. Positive affirmations can reinforce self-esteem and combat negative thought patterns. Phrases like "I am worthy of love" or "I accept myself as I am" can be powerful tools in fostering self-acceptance. Mirrored selves. Embracing the balance within. How often do we stand in front of a mirror each day, perhaps while getting dressed, brushing our teeth, or simply checking our appearance? For most of us, these moments are brief, and our focus is solely on the surface. But what if we use this time 2 to 3 times a day to practice something deeper? What if we make these moments opportunities to truly face ourselves, literally and figuratively? Love, when it is true, is eternal. This principle applies not only to divine love, but also to the love we hold for ourselves and others. True love, whether for oneself or another, is infinite. It exceeds time and circumstance. We should strive to hold our love for others as eternal as the divine love we seek to emulate. True love is not bound by time or circumstance. In my practice, once I love someone, I love them forever. True love, whether for oneself or another, is infinite. It exceeds time and circumstance. Even if I'm no longer in intimate relationships with those I have loved, my love for these individuals, these soulmates or something, never fades. My love endures because it is rooted in authenticity and truth. This concept is further explored in our previous podcast titled, We Are the Creators, where I discuss how every person I encounter, especially those with whom I share close relationships, contributes to my spiritual growth and helps me progress to the next elevated levels on my life journey. As I expressed in a song I recently wrote, I love you now, I loved you then, I'll love you tomorrow until the next day begins. Okay, that's all the singing I'll do today. But yes, it is true. I still love you too. This eternal nature of love reinforces the importance of self-love. Once cultivated, it should be a lifelong commitment, just as the love we offer to others should remain constant, even when circumstances change. The mirror can be one of the best tools, aside from meditation, for self-reflection and self-discovery. It's in these moments, standing alone before our reflection, that we can begin the essential process of truly getting to know ourselves. Look deeply into your eyes and begin a conversation with yourself. Start with a simple hello. As you gaze into your reflection, realize that this is you in every way, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Whatever thoughts you are thinking and feeling, your reflection or your twin self is thinking and feeling them too. If you are hesitant or fearful of looking deeply and having a real conversation with yourself, acknowledge that fear, but do not shy away from it. Facing yourself in the mirror consistently and honestly is a crucial step toward knowing and loving who you truly are. These daily moments in front of the mirror are not just about seeing the surface. They are about engaging with your inner self. Ask yourself, what am I truly feeling? What do I need to acknowledge that I've been avoiding? This practice of looking into your own eyes and speaking with your reflection is about more than just self-talk. It's about facing your entire being. In this process, you might uncover aspects of yourself that have been hidden away for years, but these revelations are necessary for growth. Just as meditation allows you to sit with your thoughts, these mirror moments allow you to see yourself clearly and confront whatever comes up. The mirror becomes a tool for self-discovery and healing. It allows you to see and embrace both your light and your shadows, your strengths and your weaknesses. By doing so, you begin to balance the dual aspects within you, the masculine and feminine energies, the assertive and the receptive, the logical and the intuitive. This balance is crucial for inner harmony and personal growth. As you continue this practice, remember that the goal is not to achieve perfection, but to cultivate understanding and acceptance. Your reflection is your companion on this journey, always there to remind you of who you are and who you are becoming. And here's something fundamental to comprehend. If we don't love ourselves first, how can we expect anyone else to truly love us? We must embrace and nurture our own self-love because it sets the standard for how we allow others to love us. When we truly know and love every aspect of ourselves, faults and strengths alike, we become emotionally self-reliant, appreciating the love from others, but not depending on it for our sense of worth. This self-love is not just an act of self-care. It's a foundation that allows us to build authentic, fulfilling relationships with others. Remember, don't be afraid to get to know yourself. Start with a simple hello. This daily practice, alongside meditation, is the beginning of a lifelong conversation, one that will deepen your relationship with yourself and, by extension, with others. The power of forgiveness, releasing emotional burdens. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for emotional healing, but it's important to recognize that not all feelings of guilt or the need for forgiveness are rooted in reality. Sometimes these feelings are born out of misconceptions, misunderstandings, or projections created by our minds. We might carry guilt or regret for things that never truly harmed others, or for actions that weren't as significant as we perceive them to be. These are the moments where we must dig deeper and question the validity of our feelings. Are they justified, or are they the result of a distorted self-perception or external influences? In these cases, the forgiveness we seek is not from others, but from ourselves, specifically from the false narratives we've created in our minds. It's about recognizing that the story we've told ourselves may not be true, and that holding on to these feelings only serves to diminish our sense of self-worth. Self-forgiveness involves releasing these unfounded feelings of guilt. This doesn't mean ignoring or dismissing our emotions, but rather confronting them with honesty and compassion. Ask yourself, is this guilt real, or is it something I've projected onto myself? If it's the latter, it's time to let go. There's another crucial aspect to consider. Sometimes we believe we've wronged others, whether this perception is accurate or not, but the opportunity to seek their forgiveness may no longer be available. Perhaps the person is no longer in our lives, or perhaps the perceived wrong was never as significant to them as it was to us. In these situations, it's vital to recognize that holding on to guilt serves no one. It's essential to forgive ourselves and release the burden that may be weighing us down. Moreover, we must understand that forgiveness often serves us more than those we seek it from. The act of seeking forgiveness can be a way to find peace within ourselves, even if the other party has moved on and forgotten the incident. Often we carry shame or guilt over something that the other person isn't even thinking about anymore. In such cases, the only one suffering is us. And it's time to let that go. Whether the guilt is justified or not, the key to moving forward is to release these emotional burdens. By understanding and addressing both real and misconceived guilt, we can prevent these feelings from holding us back. Forgiveness, whether of ourselves or the misconceptions we've harbored, is essential to living a life free from unnecessary emotional constraints. As we explore this process, remember that forgiveness is not about condoning wrong actions or dismissing others' feelings. It's about releasing the hold that guilt, whether real or imagined, has on us. It's about finding peace within ourselves and moving forward with a clearer, lighter heart. Embracing your worth amidst adversity. For those who have faced the challenge of growing up without parental support or in an abusive environment, it's crucial to understand that these conditions do not define your capacity to receive or give love. Your inherent value as a person is independent of the circumstances you were born into or the struggles you've encountered along the way. Your existence is evidence of the love that underpins creation. Each individual, including you, is a principal part of the vast mosaic of humanity. Consider this. The world is like a puzzle with over 8 billion pieces. Each piece, each person, is vital to complete the overall picture, and everyone, including you, holds unique importance. Even if you haven't experienced direct expressions of love, remember that you are surrounded by a global community where love is a fundamental, shared experience. This broader human connection means that there are people out there who, even without knowing you personally, care about your well-being and value your existence. To reinforce your sense of being loved and connected, seek environments and communities that are nurturing. Engage with groups that share your interests or support your growth. Volunteering or joining community services can link you to others who will appreciate and affirm your contributions, helping you experience firsthand the reality of being valued and loved. Furthermore, embracing self-care practices can cultivate an internal sanctuary of acceptance and love. Simple actions like Maintaining a journal, meditating, or engaging in hobbies that fulfill you can be acts of self-love that affirm your worth. Remember, every life, including yours, carries intrinsic value and potential for love. By recognizing your place in the broader tapestry of humanity, you can begin to see the undeniable truth that you are indeed loved just for being who you are. Maintaining authenticity and moral integrity. In the quest for love and connection, it's vital to remain true to oneself. This commitment to authenticity ensures that we attract people into our lives who align with our true nature and values. The adage, like attracts like, holds particularly true in relationships. When we are genuine in our actions and beliefs, we are more likely to connect with others who share similar values and who will appreciate us for who we really are. Being authentic means embracing your values, beliefs, and personality without bending to fit the expectations or desires of others. It involves a deep understanding of oneself and a commitment to living in alignment with one's core values. Compromising on fundamental aspects of your character or values in the pursuit of affection or validation can lead to relationships that are unfulfilling and draining. While compromise is a normal and necessary part of any relationship, it should never extend to losing one's sense of self or sacrificing important personal beliefs. Consider your current relationships. Are there moments where you feel pressured to compromise your values to maintain harmony? Reflect on ways you can reinforce your boundaries to ensure that your relationships reflect your true self. This could involve having open discussions about your needs and expectations, or perhaps reevaluating relationships that consistently challenge your core values. By fostering authenticity, you enhance your interactions and ensure that the relationships you build are supportive and enriching. This approach not only attracts people who are genuinely good matches for you, but also sets a standard for mutual respect and genuine connection in your relationships. Embracing self-acceptance and navigating compromise in relationships. In the journey of self-love and interpersonal relationships, understanding and embracing the balance between maintaining personal boundaries and the art of compromise is crucial. This balance is especially vital for individuals with strong personalities who value their independence and moral standards, yet recognize the importance of flexibility and mutual respect in sustaining long-term relationships. Having clear boundaries is essential for self-respect and healthy relationships. It's about knowing what you're willing to accept and where you draw the line, which is critical not just for personal well-being, but also for ensuring that relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding. Compromise does not mean losing yourself or giving up your values. Instead, it involves finding common ground that respects both parties' beliefs and preferences. For those with strong opinions and firm beliefs, this can mean learning to see things from another perspective without compromising one's core values. Loving others. Ideal partners. Finding the right partner often hinges on understanding oneself first. When we know who we are and what we value, we can identify partners who align with those qualities. It's about finding someone who complements us, shares our goals, and brings out the best in each other. We must remember that love isn't about finding someone to complete us, but rather someone who supports and enhances our journey. True love is a partnership built on mutual respect, shared values, and a deep understanding of one another. When both partners are rooted in self-love, they can come together to form a relationship that is balanced, respectful, and fulfilling. This kind of partnership allows for growth, both individually and as a couple, creating a bond that can withstand life's challenges. Loyalty and faithfulness, foundations of trust in relationships. As we deepen our understanding of love, it's essential to explore the qualities that form the bedrock of any meaningful relationship. Two of these foundational elements are loyalty and faithfulness. Though often used interchangeably, they each bring a unique dimension to how we connect with others and sustain our relationships. Loyalty in a relationship goes beyond mere fidelity. It speaks to a deeper allegiance and commitment to one's partner. Loyalty is about being there through thick and thin, supporting your partner's dreams and standing by them even when circumstances are challenging. It's about prioritizing their well-being and maintaining the integrity of the relationship, even when external influences might tempt you otherwise. Loyalty manifests in many ways. It might mean defending your partner in their absence, offering unwavering emotional support, or making choices that uphold the health and longevity of the relationship. It's a broader concept that encompasses not just the romantic or physical aspects of the relationship, but also the emotional and moral support that strengthens your bond. On the other hand, faithfulness is more specifically about exclusivity, both sexual and emotional. Faithfulness is the commitment to remain true to the agreements and promises made within the relationship, particularly concerning intimacy. It's about consciously choosing to honor the vow of exclusivity, refraining from physical or emotional infidelity, and staying dedicated to your partner in those intimate aspects of your relationship. While both loyalty and faithfulness are critical to building trust, it's important to understand that loyalty can often have a broader scope. It encompasses a wide range of actions that demonstrate your commitment to your partner's overall well-being and the health of the relationship itself. Faithfulness, though more focused, is equally vital, centering on maintaining fidelity and exclusivity in the romantic and intimate dimensions of your bond. In essence, loyalty and faithfulness work hand in hand. Loyalty ensures that we are there for our partners in all aspects of life, while faithfulness ensures that we honor the intimate promises we've made. Together they form the foundation of trust and security in any relationship, allowing love to flourish. But what happens when these qualities are absent? When loyalty falters or faithfulness is broken, the very foundation of the relationship is shaken. We may find ourselves in situations where a partner is more loyal to others than to us, where they side with those who challenge us rather than stand by our side. This disloyalty can be as damaging as infidelity, eroding the trust and connection that holds a relationship together. Understanding these distinctions and recognizing their importance helps us set the standards for our relationships. By valuing both loyalty and faithfulness, we create a strong, trust-filled foundation that supports the deeper connections we seek in love. Avoiding abusive relationships, the importance of self-love and mutual respect. In our journey toward fostering deep, meaningful connections, it is crucial to recognize and steer clear of abusive relationships. Abuse can manifest physically or mentally, and both forms are equally detrimental. Mental abuse, often less visible, involves manipulation, emotional blackmail, or persistent criticism, all of which can erode self-worth and happiness. Avoiding abusive relationships. Recognize the red flags that might indicate an abusive or toxic dynamic. Such relationships aren't always obvious and often develop gradually, making it essential to be aware of subtle warning signs. Some common red flags in abusive relationships include inconsistency in presence. Abusers may appear intensely affectionate and attentive at times, but only when it serves their needs. They might disappear emotionally or physically when you need them, creating a cycle of neglect and attention that can be confusing and damaging. Exploitation: an abuser may leverage your kindness for their benefit, using you for rides, money, or connections without reciprocating or acknowledging your generosity. They might seem sweet and appreciative when they need something, but quickly become distant or unresponsive once their needs are fulfilled. One-sided intimacy. In intimate relationships, a healthy balance of giving and receiving is essential. An abuser might only take or insist that you only give, disrupting this balance and creating a toxic dynamic where your needs are consistently neglected. Disloyalty and dishonor. Another significant red flag is when a person consistently shows more loyalty or support to others than to you, especially in situations where you are being challenged or attacked. This can manifest in them taking sides against you or siding with someone who is in direct conflict with you. Such behavior not only undermines the relationship, but also creates feelings of betrayal and mistrust, which are deeply harmful. For example, if you find that your partner or friend frequently supports others over you, even when you are clearly in need of their loyalty, this is a serious concern. To protect yourself from falling into or continuing in such relationships, it's vital to set and enforce clear boundaries. Boundaries help ensure that your relationships are respectful and reciprocal, protecting your well-being. Here are some steps to help you establish and maintain these boundaries. 1. Communicate clearly. Make your limits known early in the relationship. Clearly articulate what behaviors are acceptable and which are not. This can help set the tone for a healthy relationship and make it easier to address issues as they arise. 2. Stick to your standards. Consistently uphold your boundaries. If someone repeatedly disrespects your limits, consider this a major red flag. It's essential to trust your instincts and take action if you feel your boundaries are being crossed. 3. Seek support. If you're struggling to maintain boundaries or find yourself in an abusive situation, reach out for help from friends, family, or professional counselors. Support from others can provide perspective and help you navigate challenging situations. At the core of avoiding and overcoming abusive relationships is self-love. When you value and respect yourself, you're less likely to tolerate mistreatment or neglect. Self-love empowers you to seek out relationships that are nurturing, supportive, and balanced. It acts as a shield, protecting you from individuals who might seek to exploit, harm, or dishonor you. Love tempered by wisdom. In the journey of love, wisdom serves as a necessary balance to the passion and intensity of raw emotions. The law of one speaks to this balance, suggesting that love without wisdom can lead to self-destructive choices, even to the point of martyrdom. For example, imagine the scenario of someone jumping off a bridge to save another who has already fallen and is beyond help. This act, while driven by love, lacks wisdom. It's a sacrifice made in vain, resulting in harm rather than help. Similarly, consider someone who cannot swim, diving into the ocean to rescue a drowning person when in the end, both will drown. Here, the noble intention is overshadowed by the absence of wisdom, potentially leading to the loss of both lives. In such cases, love untempered by wisdom can lead to unnecessary martyrdom. True wisdom in love means recognizing our limitations and acting within them. It's about knowing when our actions can genuinely make a difference and when they might only lead to unnecessary self-harm. This principle doesn't imply a lack of care or love. Rather, it emphasizes the importance of applying love in ways that are truly beneficial and effective. When it comes to relationships, aligning with those who share our moral values and standards is crucial. Sacrificing these values or wearing a metaphorical mask to attract or retain love can lead to relationships that are unsatisfying and unauthentic. Authenticity in our expressions of self ensures that we attract individuals who appreciate us for who we truly are, not just for who we might pretend to be. Establishing and maintaining boundaries based on our moral compass is not only an act of self-love, but also an act of wisdom. These boundaries help us engage in relationships that are nurturing and supportive, rather than diminishing our sense of self-worth. For instance, if a relationship requires constant compromise of one's deepest values, it may not be the right partnership. By embracing both love and wisdom, we navigate our relationships with integrity and authenticity. This balanced approach enhances our personal well-being and deepens the connections we form with others, creating a foundation built on genuine understanding and mutual respect. As we conclude this discussion on self-love and its far-reaching effects, reflect on the key points we've covered. We began by exploring the truth that divine love is the foundation of all love, a constant and unwavering presence that assures us we are always loved. This divine love is essential because it empowers us to love ourselves fully, acknowledging that we are creations of the divine. From there, we explored the significance of self-love, understanding that without it, our ability to love others is incomplete. Self-love is not just a personal achievement, but a reflection of the divine within us. It is by embracing and nurturing this love for ourselves that we become capable of offering genuine, pure love to others. These interconnected themes, divine love, self-love, and the ability to extend love to others, form the essence of what we discussed in this episode. By securing our own oxygen masks first, we ensure that we can assist and love others with integrity and depth. I encourage each of you to implement one self-love practice this week. Share your experiences in our community forum or on social media to inspire and encourage others on their own journeys. Conclusion. Divine love as the root of all love is the first step toward cultivating a life of fulfillment and connection. Surrendering that we are always loved by the divine, we can turn inward to embrace self-love, acknowledging that we are worthy of this love simply because we are of the divine. Only by fully loving ourselves can we extend genuine, pure love to others, creating meaningful and healthy relationships. As we close this episode on the intense impacts of self-love, let's look forward to our approaching discussion, where we'll explore whether there really is just a thin line between love and hate. We'll review the emotional spectrum that connects these powerful feelings, and importantly, we'll examine how the words we use, especially I hate, can cast a negative spell upon ourselves, impacting our emotional and spiritual well-being. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, the journey towards self-love is not just about finding peace within, it's about transforming the world around us one act of love at a time. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? The answer is simple. We are. Each of us is the fairest of them all, because we now understand the importance of loving ourselves first. Self-love is the foundation that allows us to truly love one another. When we recognize our worth and embrace the divine love within us, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to a more compassionate and connected world. Self-love is not just a personal practice, it's a transformative path that shapes our lives and the lives of those around us. As we grow in understanding and acceptance of ourselves, we create a ripple effect that spreads love and positivity throughout our community. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of love's true essence. If you found these discussions meaningful, please consider sharing with others who may also benefit from these insights. Remember, I am your star. You are my star. We are all one. Until next time, this is Kaz, your quantumist at MyStar Wisdom, guiding you towards a celestial harmony that unites us all.
Numbers 11:17. He asked the Lord, "Why have you brought this trouble on your servant? What have I done to displease you that you put the burden of all these people on me? Kaz Quantumist. 17. I will come down and speak with you there, and I will take some of the power of the Spirit that is on you and put it on them. They will share the burden of the people with you, so that you will not have to carry it alone. Make sure to subscribe, share, and engage in the comments as we explore the truths that lie within.